Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video of Fox Reacts. Today we're checking out a new one from the film theaters about Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared. Apparently, we should have listened. Let's hop in. Ooh, interesting intro. What the? Why are we getting flashbacks because all your episodes of the Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared series? Okay,
Hello, Internet!
Matt,
Welcome to Film Theory, the show that's been ruining puppets for you since 2016. Theorists, it
that's only
is
6
back!
years.
The OG of internet horror, Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, has returned. Now, if you're not familiar with the series, I can't really blame
3
you. It's been a
weeks ago.
long time since we've
Live.
gotten any sort of update. 3 years, in fact. To catch you up, Don't
Excuse
Hug
me.
Me, I'm Scared, or DHMIS, is a YouTube series created by Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling, where puppets learn important
I
life
remember
lessons
this.
about creativity,
Mine is being creative.
love, and nutrition.
Greedy to eat all
I'm
that.
enjoying
You'll
demonic
end
bolts.
up with your gums all grey.
But something's
Wrong.
Well spotted
Yep.
there, Duck. Something is very
Yes, you're very
clearly
clever.
wrong. At a glance, the show feels like your typical Sesame Street-inspired children's program about learning. In fact, the visuals
It
are
feels like
such a
that.
good imitation of a kid's show that YouTube marked one of my DHMIS theories as made for kids and tried to
What?
shove the thing onto the kids
What?
app.
No,
At which point I was
no.
forced to write an explanation to the machine gods that sometimes the visuals of something don't match the actual
Yeah,
content. You
what
see,
the
by the end of
hell?
every episode, things go horribly off the rails, and lessons about love suddenly turn into cult recruitment
There it
tools.
is.
Nutrition facts wind up with characters eating each other. The whole
Cannibalism.
thing is a disturbing
No, wait.
satire on the nature
I
of
guess
kids
technically not
programming.
cannibalism.
Luckily, my
It was only a duck.
thoughtfully worded letter to YouTube got him to see reason, the flag was removed, and a generation of toddlers was spared from witnessing this.
Yeah, little.
Kids app, sure. In 2016,
Yeah,
after 6
no.
episodes, the creators literally pulled the plug on the series, but by then it had already cemented its place as an internet classic. Things
And
were quiet
well.
until 2018 when DHMIS uploaded a trailer for a TV show based on the series.
we
Finally,
go.
we were gonna get to see more from this twisted world. And then
Oh, yeah.
nothing. For years, nothing.
Oh, no.
At least until now. On June 19th,
yes.
DHMIS uploaded their first new video in 3 years, a new trailer
That's
titled
cool.
Fly, confirming that the show would finally see the light of day
Finally.
in September. But you know what? I don't want to wait that
Aha,
long. I want to get
September.
started now. We know from past
Let's do
theories
this,
that there's a
Matt.
lot more to DHMIS than meets the eye, with each
Oh, look
episode
at
being
all
a
that.
commentary on everything from children's programming to international politics. And I expect nothing less for the full-length TV series. So despite
Can't
the
believe
teaser
this is actually
clocking in
gonna
at just
become a
50
full
seconds,
series.
we've analyzed it frame by frame, and I think it's clear what we're in for. A scathing critique on the state of world politics. I expect this
Oh,
new season of
great.
DHMIS is going to ultimately boil down to one key message. There is a core problem that everyone's ignoring, despite it being
Households
right in
leads
front
to
of our eyes.
blackouts.
And by ignoring
Ooh.
it, the world is literally headed towards disaster. We are caught
Okay,
in a cycle
I'm
of
curious.
mistakes. And TV, the media at large, is not helping the problem. Yep, got all that
Not
from 50
really.
seconds.
I mean,
So come
many
on,
of us
friends,
are
there
on
is so
computer.
much learning to do. As a
mean,
reminder,
this
our
is a
3
computer.
friends in DHMIS are
This is a
Red Guy,
computer.
Yellow Guy, and Duck. Based
I
on
got
our
a
past
monitor
theories,
right
though, we
here.
know that they're not just characters in a kid's program. Red Guy is the creator of the series. He was a normal guy with an
that's
office
even
job who
computer.
dreamed of creating his own kids show.
I see a silly face.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone smiling at me.
The whole thing is a bust
Ooh.
until Yellow Guy's dad, Roy, comes in to financially back the show, which seems like it should be a good thing until he starts
Oh,
filling it with
hold on,
more
folks.
and more
We got an ad
ads.
coming on. We're back.
Was there an ad there? There was an ad there, wasn't there?
There was an ad
Art
though.
imitating life. Oh, it just gets more and more meta. Anyway, our previous
There
theories
was an
concluded
ad.
that DHMIS was a commentary on how the need to earn money corrupts creativity and how corporate interest tends to
that's right.
distort the education in children's programming. Eventually, the red guy
And
has his
unfortunate
mind
side
blown
effects.
when he discovers that he can make the show himself, releasing it on the internet for much cheaper while still maintaining his artistic integrity. Red guy pulls the plug on the TV show when he sees the harmful effect it's having on
is the
children,
internet.
as symbolized by Yellow Guy. Red guy reboots it on a shoestring budget,
And
but with the
boom.
freedom for his pure creative voice to be heard. Also, there's Duck. Never really had a good explanation for him, but yeah, he's an actor
that
on
was
the
not
program
really an
too. And that's
explanation.
largely where we left off. Like I mentioned earlier,
killed
there
off, and that
was
was it.
another trailer named Wakey Wakey released back in 2018, but that's since been removed by the creators, instead
Damn.
replaced by this new trailer, Fly. So what horrific life lessons are in store for us in the new series? Let's check it out. We open
Yeah,
on
let's
some
see.
sort of structure in ruin, rocked by either an explosion or a natural disaster. It seems to be a house based
Something
on what we
ashy,
see
at least,
scattered
so
around the structure.
vile.
A children's tricycle, mattress, bathtub, what looks to be pipes and heaters, television, all items that you'd typically see in a house. The moment the TV enters the frame, we actually start to hear the buzzing of flies. Given that Fly is also the name of the video,
Oh.
something tells me that that detail
Yeah,
is going to be
something's
important.
definitely going
Several
on.
shots of our main characters flash by in the static on the TV,
Hold on, I just realized it was uploaded on June 19th. It was uploaded on Father's Day, damn it.
including Duck with a newspaper, red guy on the phone, yellow guy playing a banjo. We then fully enter
Trying
the
to play.
reality of the show with our three main characters sitting around their kitchen table exactly like they did in the original series. A fly buzzes around the refrigerator,
kind of, not the
approaches the
exact same.
table, and lands on yellow guy's eye before Duck squashes it,
Yeah.
saying,
Pesky bee.
we then zoom back out of the
Pesky
destroyed
bee,
house with a
bee,
Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared
bee.
title card and a release window of September 2022. Okay,
And
so
boom,
that initially
there it
doesn't
is.
seem to be a whole lot to work with. But when you break the trailer down while also looking into the past of the series and its creators, there's actually a ton here. First of all,
Yep,
it's clear
let's
that the
see.
new show is going to continue its critiques on television and advertising. The framing
Yeah, I
device
can
of
see
zooming
that.
through a ruined house before focusing on a TV at the center of it all is not particularly subtle.
Is
And I
that the
actually
central?
think the release date is our
It is the main
strongest
focus,
evidence to this
but
point.
I'm not sure if
Dates
it's
are
the
very
central.
important in DHMAS. As we've pointed out in past theories, June 19th, that date on the back wall of every episode of the show. On that day in 1955, stock markets across the world soared so high that they broke practically every record. It was
Oh, yeah, I
also
remember
around this
that.
time that the UK television market opened for private companies to make their own TV channels. Channels that are
I
focused
remember.
solely on profit. And for a series focused on how advertising corrupts media made for kids, yeah,
Yep.
that is going to be a pivotal moment. The first of these for-profit channels was ITV, founded on September 22nd, 1955. And
Okay, so
wouldn't you
let's
know
keep
it,
an
but
eye
this
out on
new season
September
of DHMAS is premiering in, wait for it, September 22. For a series that's so concerned about dates, it's not likely that that's a coincidence. It's also no mistake that the calendar in the show is once again stuck on June 19th, but
Yep,
we'll get
there
back
it
to
is
that in a
again.
minute. Next, let's talk about
Hell,
the
the video
fly.
was
Clearly,
uploaded
the
on June
symbolism of
19th.
flies is important here. Flies, the title of the video. We hear buzzing flies the moment the television enters the frame. It lands on yellow guy's eye. It gets squished. It is the main thing from the trailer.
Yeah, just
Flies
call it
are
B
also
again,
the
which
only
is probably
aspect of the
just
teaser
shout
that
out to, like,
exist in both the
episode 2, I
ruined
believe.
building and in the world of the show in the television. So the issue or issues that the flies represent exist both in the real world and are infecting the programming itself. But what does it mean? Well, flies
Real
usually
and
indicate
fiction,
a problem.
huh?
They're usually depicted alongside things that are dead or rotten. Rotting fruit, dead bodies, that kind of thing. So DHMAS's
makes
commentary here might be indicating that
that
modern
is the
TV,
sense.
for profit with advertisement, is either a dying medium or is rotten in some way. We children
Could
of the
be
internet
both.
have known that for a while now, and even the original 6 episodes of DHMAS seemed to know that back in 2016, so I feel
Yep.
like that's probably not what they're going for here. Instead, it feels like
Maybe
something
the
is rotten
concept?
here. Rotting your brain, rotting society. Unclear, but let's keep looking for clues. I bet we'll
Yeah,
figure out
something's
something.
gotta be
Red Guy
rotten.
is actually featured the least in the trailer, appearing only in the cartoon world's establishing shot, a glitchy shot where he's holding a phone, and a brief
doesn't even
reaction
get to
shot
say
to the fly
something.
buzzing around the fridge. Admittedly, this is only really conjecture, but we can potentially make some assumptions based on Red Guy's previous role in the series as
That
the lead
is something.
creative of the in-universe show. If we still think of him as the
Why wouldn't he,
representative
like,
of creators
say
like
something?
Sloan and Pelling, we see that he's the first to notice the fly buzzing around the fridge. He is the first to
Oh,
notice
yeah.
the problem. When he tries to communicate his
Oh, I
ideas or
see.
raise concerns, like say over a phone, the signal gets distorted, just like it does on the
And
TV.
boom.
Again, just conjecture here, but we may be able to
Maybe.
identify him here as the creative voice that gets squashed or distorted when he tries to bring up issues through his art. After Red Guy notices
That
the
was the
fly,
same
it
thing that
lands
was going
on
on
Yellow
back with
Guy's
the
eye.
original
Now,
series,
throughout
and
DHMAS,
Roy.
Yellow Guy has always represented the youth, younger people in the process of learning about the world. Those younger
more
people
yellow
are also
kid
always
than
being
yellow
told that
guy.
they're wrong by the media.
I might paint a picture of a clown.
Whoa there, friend, you might need to slow down. Arrange
Oh,
them
come on, look
into
at that.
your favorite color.
Green.
Green is not a creative color.
Or
Wasn't
taken
that
advantage
trailer?
of. Here, the fly lands
I still
directly
don't
on Yellow
understand
Guy's
that.
eye, and he reacts. Clearly, Yellow Guy sees the problem. He can't not see it. It is literally on his eyeball. It is symbolic of young people seeing that there's
like if I
clearly
was
a
just
problem
go.
in society. The question is, what is he gonna do about it? For now, all we get is a huh, which is consistent with Yellow Guy's reactions in previous episodes. He's naive, uncertain, absorbing ideas along the way. I suspect it has to do with the brief shot of Yellow Guy with the banjo. It's important to note that up to this point, Yellow Guy has never been the one singing the actual songs in the show. He's always getting bombarded with everyone else's lessons, but in this case, he's the one holding the instrument. So maybe we're at a point where we get to hear what Yellow Guy finally has to say. He's stepping up and taking action. Maybe this new series is the story of him standing up and doing something for a change. He sees the fly and he has something to say about it. And then there's Duck. Like I mentioned before, Duck's role in the series has always been a bit unclear, but it seems like the creators recently have been interested in exploring the character more, considering that in both the deleted Wakey Wakey trailer as well as in Fly, Duck is the one taking center stage. Though the episode Wakey Wakey never aired, summaries of it appeared online after it premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. In it, Duck takes advantage of his history as a well-known television personality to step up and fill the power vacuum left by the mayor's disappearance. He's manipulated by a singing key into locking down the city, installing duck-billed cameras everywhere to create a secure surveillance state, and he ultimately blames everything bad that happens on mysterious strangers who are coming to get us. He creates chaos by causing people to suspect their neighbors, and when anyone dissents, Duck drills into the heads of the locals in order to brainwash them into repeating everything he says. At the time, Wakey Wakey seemed to be the creators Becky Sloan and Joseph Pelling drawing parallels to the politics of the United States. Duck, as a former TV star in political power, sharing many similarities with then-President Donald Trump, who was infamous for othering and seeding suspicion over various ethnic groups. But looking at Duck's role now, he seems to represent something much broader. One thing that's always slipped my notice is that Duck's always reading a right-wing newspaper. And that's not me making judgment calls here either. That is literally the name of the newspaper that we see in episode 1. Duck has it again in the computer episode and again here in Fly. So Duck seems to be a right-leaning figure, a conservative, but the creators have added more commentary than just that. Notice that the headline is Power Surge Leads to Blackout. At first I thought that
back from the ad.
that this was just a funny little detail. It's been well documented that during the commercial breaks of soap operas or other popular programs, power grids in the United Kingdom experience a surge of demand as thousands of people simultaneously put kettles on the stove to make their tea. Maybe this shot of Duck was just a small nod to that phenomenon, another way that TV is controlling people's lives and shaping the world. But then I noticed which section of the paper this was in. It's under the opinion section. That sort of news is not the sort of story that should be filed as an opinion. That is a legitimate news story. And so it appears to me that this is yet another critique from Sloan and Pelling about the news media, misreporting objective fact as opinion in an attempt to create a false balance between the sides of an issue. It's also a commentary on the person reading the paper, considering opinion is misspelled opinion. In short, the creators don't seem to think Duck or people like him are very smart, which leads to Fly, where Duck sees the fly, swats it down, and calls it by the wrong name, Pesky Bee. This directly calls us back to DHMAS episode 3, which was about love when a butterfly gets swatted.
Pesky bee?
Let's look at both of them and see how they compare, since these moments are clearly meant to be parallel. In the first case, Yellow Guy sees the butterfly, gets excited by this beautiful, harmless creature in the outdoors, and Duck kills it without thinking. This drives Yellow Guy away for the rest of the episode to learn about love. In Fly, again, Yellow Guy sees something first, in this case it's the fly, an indicator of the problems in the broader world before Duck swats it down. In both cases, Duck sees something, he fails to recognize it for what it is, and then he kills it without asking questions. In the first, Duck kills something that's a beautiful part of nature. In the second, a fly should be telling Duck that there's a deeper problem here. Something is rotting nearby. But Duck calls him a bee. He's failing to recognize that anything is truly wrong. It's symbolic of leaders failing to recognize the bigger problems that we're facing, instead just swatting down the symptoms and pretending that that's enough. It's a pesky bee, not the rotting corpse that's hidden inside the refrigerator or whatever. It's not clear whether Duck is meant to be a specific right-wing figure here. The creators of the show are British, which would point to the right-wing, soon-to-be former British PM Boris Johnson. Regardless of who it is, it seems like the theme is consistent. Duck and those like him are ignoring the rot around them, pretending everything is fine, or just tackling symptoms without getting to the root cause of the problem. The implication here is that ultimately something in DHMAS and the broader world is systematically wrong, and our leadership is collectively actively ignoring it. I think the takeaway from the trailer,
All
other
right.
than I'm just
I'm getting what
excited
you're
to see
saying,
more,
Matt.
is that DHMIS is going to be picking up right where it left off when it comes to thinly veiled political commentary and extremely sharp social observation. In fact, I think they're going to go one step further and not just pick up where they left off, but pick up before they left off. The original 6-episode run of DHMIS ended with the calendar in the background changing days from June 19th to June 20th. We've moved forward in time. We've progressed. Red Guy pulled the plug on his ad-heavy children's show and decided to independently produce it on YouTube. There was hope.
So
there
you
was
mean
new
that we may
opportunity. But now we've...
Hold on. So, Matt, you may actually be thinking that instead of us continuing on with Red Guy now free of Roy's command, we're actually going back to episodes maybe even before that first pilot we got on the channel? Ooh, I like that. That's a good theory.
regressed. The calendar in Fly has reset to June 19th. Resetting the date seems to be meant to tell us that history is
resetting the
repeating.
color.
We're making the same mistakes. We are stuck in a negative cycle, like Duck ignoring the problems, or Yellow Guy who doesn't know enough to recognize history when he sees it. We're going to be reliving the same issues over and over again. We keep swatting
Alright,
the
I see
fly,
this.
but
Let's go.
calling it a bee. We keep treating the symptoms, but not addressing the root problem. Maybe we as viewers didn't do a good enough job of recognizing the problems around us. So DHMAS's new
Okay.
season will be us reliving them again until we can get it right. Looks like the show is
Okay,
trying
now I
to teach us
see.
something after all, and not just about nutrition.
But the bad, not healthy foods are very rude and must leave through the cat flap.
That doesn't make sense.
Also, guess we're gonna have to wait until
Yeah, those
September to
cans
find
still
out
just
more.
is
Suppose it gives
annoying
me
as
time to
hell.
figure out how to watch shows that are currently airing on the BBC. But hey, that's just a theory. A film theory.
that was interesting.
And cut.
Alright, and with that, folks, that is where we're going to leave off today's video. Wait.
And hey, if you want to catch up on our previous theories on Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared,
Oh, just links to the previous ones. Well, okay, well, that was Fox Reacts to Film Theory. I hope you all enjoyed it. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Down in the description will be a link to the original videos, so remember to support the original creator and all they do. And I'll see all of you folks next time. Peace out.